Coming up on Inside 50 this week, we check in on Scooter Selwood's dream team, the Scooter McGavins. We talk pump about the D's game from last week, and we preview this weekend's huge clash against Essendon at Etihad.
G'day everyone, thanks for joining us. A week spell, we're fresh, ready to go. Another episode of Inside 50, and what a terrific victory against Melbourne.
Correct, mate. Got off to a great start, off to a flyer, and best thing was kept it up for the whole game.
Absolute demolishing. We've got a big show. We've mixed things up a little bit. Check it out. Just the one segment for the Pulse this week. It is good news though. Jack Darling became the second West Coast Eagles player to win a NAB Rising Star nomination, behind Luke Shuey of course. He was fantastic against D's. He had 14 touches and 9 grabs. Interesting to note, he did have 24 touches and 7 grabs against the Hawks the week earlier. But those 3 goals against the D's, they were crucial, and that is what got him over the line, and probably the victory of course.
Yeah mate, well look, it's a pretty easy thing to say now, but there's probably 16 AFL clubs that are just kicking themselves that Jack slipped through their grasp at the draft last year. Now, pretty big weekend for Jack coming up. Most likely going to be matched up on Dustin Fletcher, so one of the greatest fullbacks of all time.
Big test.
He was actually asked during the week at his press conference if Fletcher had gotten his ear at all about his 12-goal haul against the Dons last year. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, I'm going to try better this week, kick 13.
Now, if you don't want to work for me, you can get off the ground.
G'day everyone, thanks for joining me back on Living the Dream. Just want to give you a bit of a recap on how the whole Dream Team situation is working out for me at the moment, and currently looking pretty good. One of the big improvers this year has been Matty Rosa. He's been fantastic for us, but unfortunately Matty hasn't made the cut for my team. Got young Jack Darling instead for half the price and for twice the size. Big Matty Rosa loves to live in the gym and try and get his big arms nice and big, but unfortunately, I think Jack's only twice the size and his first age kid, so I decided to go with Jack on that one, and at the moment it's paying dividends. Unfortunately, Big Mitch Brown suffered a thumb injury this year, and lucky for me he's not in my side. I've got Big Andy Otten from the Crows instead. He's half the price, and he also gets more points than Brownie, so made logical sense. Okay, we had a big inclusion on the weekend with Lecra. Big Lecca, he's had a fantastic game, and he's always good to have in your dream team, because you know when he's ever around the 50 or inside the 50, he's always going to have a shot. He won't pass it, so make sure you get Lecca in your team. And he's also a bit of a rooster, and at the Scooter McGavins football club, we like to have a few girls hanging around the front, and you know, we do have guys like Brad Ebert walking out the front, scare the girls away a little bit, but you know, luckily we got myself and Lecca just to keep the girls coming back and interested for some more. So listen, thanks for coming and thanks for watching Living the Dream. Hopefully see you again soon. Cheers guys.
Cheers mate, all the best to the Scooter McGavins for the remainder of 2-11.
We're 7 in, number 19 of our 25 and 25. It's a good one. Enjoy.
It was a great example of peaking at the right time, as West Coast stormed into the 1992 final series with tremendous confidence, winning their last 5 from 6 home and away matches. Crowds flocked to the Wacker ground for the blockbuster do-or-die elimination final against the previous year's premiers in Hawthorn.
Prior to the game, I always had that last 91 final in the back of my mind, and it was a necessity for us to win that 92 final. And
we'd had some great clashes with Hawthorn. It was probably similar to, they weren't as close as the Sydney clashes we had later on, but quite often the team that got the jump got mowed down by the opposition team.
As if repeating the 1991 grand final, it was West Coast's turn to flip the switch as the side began to dig itself out of a 4-goal slump in the first quarter.
And the camaraderie and the competitiveness amongst that group was unbelievable. You know, you could not do the warm-up without blokes, you know, competing to beat each other in the sprints, and you know, it was just bragging rights all the time about whatever. You know, Sumi used to take it a bit too extreme by having 3 yumbos at Hungry Jack's, you know, when everyone else was stopping it too. But yeah, it was just that sort of competitive spirit.
I mean, that goal should just never have gone through. When you boomerang it from that side, it shouldn't go through, but this thing just sort of went the other way. And it went through the goals. It was like a superior power had grabbed the ball and taken it through the goals. I mean, I was just amazed that it went through. I think so was most people, and you know, the fans sitting behind the goals couldn't believe it. But yes, that was very nice, very satisfying.
Through spirit and determination, West Coast banded together to play some miraculous football in the final 3 quarters. notching up a 13-point victory and a semi-final clash with the top side Geelong.
Great side they were, great players. We had to be on our game, and for us to get up by 14 points, hear the crowd roar, boys were pumped, couldn't wait for the next week.
Alrighty, let's have a look at the teams. West Coast versus Essendon's on Channel 7 at 11 a.m. It's live from Etihad. The Ings, Will Schofield, Tom Swift, Ashton Hand, and Jarrett Whedon's been named to make his debut from Claremont.
Hope he does. Good luck to him if so. Andrew Gaff is the only admission so far. Just mentioning two players that did exceptionally well against Melbourne. Pritis 33 touches, unbelievable. Brad Ebert, 8 marks, 4 contested. Amazing stat for a midfielder. Look, there were a lot of great moments and very interesting moments from the Melbourne game, so instead of wrapping it up as we normally do, we have got this segment. Alright, the first segment of the pump is talking about a few issues that happened during the game. What about this one? We've got Lyndon Dunn running into an open goal.
Worst mo in the comp.
It is the worst mo. Nick Nananui, great chase down tackle. Love to see the two of them wrestle, and Daniel Kerr comes over the top. Brilliant team camaraderie. They wrestle as one, and what do you know? The play starts and ends with Josh Kennedy, Jack Darling kicking the goal. Fantastic.
Yes, Kerr was involved there, and that he was back this weekend with Mark Lacroix. Look, probably one of the better games he's played in about 4 years, Daniel Kerr. Fantastic, 27 possessions. He was all over the place, a lot of intensity. And I don't need to mention Mark Lacroix. Obviously, that groin injury in round 1. He's back. Only kicked the 1 goal. Looked a bit rusty, but gee, isn't he cherry ripe now after that 10-day break for this weekend?
Scott Selwood, hasn't he just put on some bulk? The kid is strong. He's the king of the don't argue now. What about just fending off Brad Green? 225 game player, captain of the Melbourne side. And what about this play? The fake handball, the pivot, the fend off. Could have probably just gone the left straight away, but just one of the plays of the season for me. Watch it closely.
Sam Butler was sensational across half-back. Floated across there for the majority of the first half. He actually had 9 tackles for the game, and I just want to mention he had 80 Dream Team points at half-time. He was hitting targets as well for the whole game. And if you need an example of that, ask Daniel Kerr.
Smother of the round, or just a complete freak accident? Well, didn't the commentator give him raps early?
That's a fantastic smother by Green.
But as you will see on replay, Matty Rosa should be given all the credit for this smother. Give the little bump here to Greeny, and he falls accidentally on the ball. Bit of a blue there from the commentary team.
Wasn't the best night for the Melbourne captain, actually, as demonstrated here by his attempted tackle on Big Easy McKenzie. Couldn't even take him down.
I want to bring this one up. What about technology in football? People say they don't want the third umpire. Check this play out. There's a contest on the wing. Ball gets kicked out of bounds on the full. Lynchy sees it all. But the boundary umpires converse. They need clarification with the field umpire. During the play, while it stopped, the crowd has seen the big screen. They've seen it's out on the full. Here the other umpire comes in. Has he seen this technology? Should we be using this technology? Yeah, we wasted as much time.
On a lighter note, Colin Sylvia's eyes must have lit up here when he saw the corridor was wide open. This wouldn't have happened if he was wearing Puma boots.
What about Darren Glass? He knows how to take a mark. We've seen this. He's an expert in the air. Had the opportunity to take down an absolute hanger on the weekend. He didn't. These were his comments.
Possibly could have been Mark of the Year. As I was running towards the contest, I was tossing up between car and team rules, and team rules won out. So being the captain, I thought I'd better follow them. So I'm not sure if they've got vision of it. Perhaps they can show the elevation yeah, the spoil of the week. Cheers.
So sadly, Darren not walking away with the car from Mark of the Year, but we have given him this. This is a Toyota Camry pulled from my stationery cupboard for spoil of the week. So I'll make sure he gets that.
Make sure you've got those scarves and jackets ready to wave on Sunday. And thanks for coming inside 50 with us.
Certainly not one of the classiest players to start off with, but Jones brings the ball in. Darren Glass leaves his opponent to help out Pat McGinnity and puts a great spoil on Jack Watts. Would have been a certain mark. We have a bounce in the forward 50 for play number 2. Quinton Lynch gets Jamar out of the way. A snap over the left shoulder. Brilliant goal, Lynchy. And the final play. Great pressure in the forward 50 from West Coast, something they're renowned for here in season 2011. Nananui gets the ball free. Ash Smith, Nikoski, Andrew Embley couldn't get a goal of the round nomination, but that is an absolute gem of a banana on the boundary line.
Ripping goal!